Good morning, guys, and welcome to week 4, workout 3 for me. Today I am supposed to be doing 4 miles of intervals. Instead of doing the intervals, I think today I'm going to focus on running outside. I have not run outside for quite a while, and I know that I definitely need to acclimatize myself, number one, to the California weather. By the time I run the 4 miles of the triathlon in September, it could be very, very hot. The race is actually at the beach. It's at Malibu Beach, so it'll probably be cooler than where I live. However, there's still a chance it could be very hot. So also, I feel like if I acclimatize myself to actually running outdoors in the heat, then when you run outdoors in cooler conditions, it's so much easier that you go faster. So I do want to definitely start working on acclimatizing myself and possibly at least a weekly outdoor run. So I'm going to start that today. Today it should be fairly cool still. I believe it will maybe be low 70s by the time I get outside to run. So it shouldn't be too bad at all. Also, since we did the daylight savings change, I shouldn't be running in the dark, which I don't like at all. I have done it, and I have done it with groups and headlamps, and I just don't see really well all the time, so you definitely don't want to run in the dark. So that's not a factor at all today. So I will be running 4 miles outside. I will run that probably outside my work. Number one, I want to run outside my work because it's easier for me just to head downstairs to the gym and change and go, rather than to actually drive somewhere or even drive home, because then there is a bigger chance that I won't work out at all. So that's why I want to work out or run near my work. And then number two, also when I'm done, I will go back to the gym and do my 15 minutes on the rower. So that is my plan for today. I think eventually it would still be a good idea to work in some intervals. Either I'm not very good at intervals outside because I want to know how fast my intervals are. So I may have to just switch a base run day with an intervals day so that I'm doing my base run outside. So I'll have to think about that a little more for next week and plan my schedule a little differently. So I definitely do want to keep a 4 mile outside run and a 4 mile base run. So I will think about that for next week. But for today, no intervals, just the 4 miles outside. So that is my plan when I run outside. The second reason I also want to start running outside is because I need to get used to pushing myself, running on my own speed with my own legs instead of the treadmill's forward motion pushing you. So I do need to, I think I tend to run slower outside unless I'm with a group. So I need to start running outside to get my outside speed up, because ultimately the race is outside. So I need to be able to run fast outside as well as in. So that is my goal for today. I don't foresee any problems with the temperature. There's the place that I run at work for 4 miles has an incline. It's actually an incline for the first almost 2 miles. So it's not a terrible incline, but it's definitely uphill. So it is going to be a little bit challenging in that respect. I hate hills. I have always hated hills. I will always hate hills. But again, it's good to run a few hills. I believe that the triathlon course will have a few rolling hills. So a hill is a hill to me, unless it's straight up, and then it's even worse. So I need to start running hills anyway too. So tonight's run will probably not be anything spectacular as far as speed. I'm just gonna take the hill at a comfortable pace and just try to do the whole 4 miles without stopping. That's basically my goal. I will have to stop for, there are a couple of major intersections, so I will need to stop, of course, for traffic lights. So other than that, that's my plan. I will maybe try to video a little bit of the area that I'm running in once I get into the nicer suburb area. So the first part of it is not exciting. city life. So that's my plan for today. I will check in with you guys once I have done my run or when I'm ready to go. So I hope to hear from you guys about how your run goes today. Talk to you later. Okay, I just finished the first 2 miles. First 2 miles are all uphill, so that was kind of rough. My average pace was 10 minutes and 28 seconds per mile. So that's kind of disappointing. But I am outside and I am definitely running hills. So I'm gonna do the next 2 miles, get back to home base and check out my time when I'm there. Talk to you guys in a few. Okay, I'm done. Average after going downhill, 9:44 per mile. Totally not happy with that. Let's talk about this in a while. I got a shower. Okay guys, 4 miles outside and I'm disappointed with my time. I don't think it's necessarily being outside. I expect it to be slower outside because I normally am, just because the environment and you're not on the treadmill and maybe the weather and you have to stop at each street crossing and yada yada. So I expect it to be slower, but I really think it was the hills. I was really slow. Like, what did I say? The first 2 miles was like 10:45, 10 minutes and 45 seconds per mile. When my goal for the triathlon is 8 minutes per mile. That's a huge difference. My final speed I am a little happier with. So once I was able to run downhill and recoup some of that time, my final speed overall for the 4 miles was 9 minutes and 44 seconds per mile. So that's a little better, but I am still disappointed because 9 minutes and 45 seconds is a long ways from 8-minute miles. So this just really showed me that I really definitely need to start running outside for sure. And number 2, I need to start running hills. I really, really hate running hills. And I don't think, from what I remember of the freeway in Malibu, they're not huge hills. Like this hill that I ran tonight is literally 2 miles uphill. It's not a horrible hill, but it is not an easy hill. So I think it's moderate. It's definitely not just a slight incline. So I don't think that the hills in Malibu are like that. I think they are more what they call rolling hills, which means they may be probably about the same for steepness, but probably not as long, probably not like a 2 mile long hill. So if I can master this hill a little better, then I'll probably be a lot better off for the triathlon. So that's what I need to do. So I am now going to do a weekly outside run on that hill specifically. I would also kind of like to see what my time is outside on a flat surface. So I may do that. I might do just a regular 4 mile base run next week just to see what my outside time is. So next week is going to look a little different for my training schedule, but yeah, it was challenging. As much as I hate going uphill, I love running downhill. It's so fun. It's so fun to just fly down the hills. So I really do enjoy that. But here's something weird, and this may be an age thing. Like the older I get, the more I think about it. But when I run outside now, I always picture myself, and maybe this is because I actually did trip last year. When I was doing a run last year outside in the heat, it was over 100 on the day I did it, so my legs were really tired anyway, and I probably was not lifting my feet up high enough because my legs were so tired. But I did literally trip right in front of my work. So I tripped and fell. But anyway, when I run now, I literally think about tripping and falling. It's like a little fear in the back of my mind. So I know when I get tired, I tend to not lift my feet up properly. So I always envision myself tripping and falling, and what if I break an arm, or what if I twist an ankle so bad that it needs surgery, or what if I crack my chin on the cement, which I've done that before too. So I don't know, it's kind of just a weird little thing I always have in the back of my mind, and especially when I run on sidewalks. So I do try to run on the streets when I run outside. Number one, because it's actually better for your legs. The asphalt, it has a little more give than concrete does, so it's a little bit better for your legs. And then number two, because there's less likely to be cracks and uneven surfaces when you run on the street versus on the sidewalk. So just a weird little fear I have. But anyway, so that was my first run outside in a long time. I think, oh, I did run outside in Florida, so I can't even compare Florida with running here, because the humidity and the heat was so terrible. It made running really hard. So even this run today, when I haven't run outside for a while and I was running hills, this run today was easier than flat runs in Florida. So yeah, no comparison really there. So anyway, that was my run for today. I'm glad I decided to do an outside run today, and I just want to, I really hate hills, but I really feel like it needs to be done. So I'm going to add that to my weekly schedule. And I also got my 15 minutes of rowing in today, so that was two rowing workouts for the week. Today is workout 3 for me, so I have 2 more to go. Tomorrow is my long run. So I hope you guys had a great workout today too. I hope everybody's feeling like they're making progress, or at least dropping some weight, or maybe getting a little faster, going a little further. I felt like I was making really great progress until today, and I know it's just a change in environment and something I need to practice and do more. So you know what, I'm looking forward to next week's outside run, because now I want to better that time. So 9:44-minute miles, it's going to be better than that next week. Anyway, you guys have a great night. I will touch base with you before tomorrow's run. Bye!